You had a sister. Your sister lived in California. You and your wife lived in Florida. Your sister became ill and she was diagnosed with cancer. You and your wife relocated from Florida. Are you retired?
No, not retired.
Did you get a new job in California?
My wife is a contractor, so we move around quite a bit.
So you came to California and you had another project?
Correct.
Okay. And how long was that project for?
It's ongoing still.
So you moved to California because you had a new project?
Correct.
Okay, well, then this is sort of misleading, Mr. Riley. I'll get to the whole thing. This is probably going to be more interesting than I even thought it was going to be. This is a situation. Your sister was sick in California. You came to California. You led me to believe in your complaint that you and your wife gave up your life in Florida to come to California to minister to your ill sister. That's what I got from your complaint.
Very much true.
Now it appears that you have a contracting job, and even though your sister is no longer with us, that contracting job is ongoing because that's what you and your wife do. So it was probably a combination of both things. In any event, you came to California with your wife for a job, which you're still doing, and you're still living in California.
Yes.
Still living in California, even though your sister's not here anymore.
Correct. We're from California originally.
It doesn't matter. I was just misled by the complaint. Maybe it was my own silly misreading of it.
I'd love to clarify if I could.
They saw work here.
I didn't ask you a question.
Sorry, Your Honor.
In any event, your sister was here. She came to live with you for a while. She was ill. She was getting treatment while you were in California. And you are her closest living relative.
Yes.
Closest biological living relative.
No. Physically close, yes. Biologically, we have 6 siblings.
Oh, but she didn't live with any of the other 6 siblings?
No, she lived by herself until she lived with us.
She was a single lady?
Correct.
No children?
Never married, no kids.
And the defendant is her cousin?
Correct.
So you took care of her, drove her to her doctor's appointments, did whatever had to be done. Sister passes.
For months, I may add. For months.
Years. For months, years,
Just so you know.
whatever. For months. You did all of those things, and your sister unfortunately succumbed to cancer. She passed away, and when her will was read, to your surprise, you were not made beneficiary of any part of the estate. Her entire estate went to her cousin, Miss Wells, as the beneficiary, but your sister did a double whammy. She made you the trustee.
Correct.
Okay, and that, I assume, Mr. Riley, if you and I are being honest with each other, was both irritating to you and probably to your wife, who was very anxious to talk to me before.
No, not really.
It wasn't irritating.
It was irritating, but not for the reasons you say. It was not monetarily driven. I care for my sister.
I understand.
It was a surprise. It was just a surprise.
It was a surprise. It was a surprise. In any event, there was ongoing acrimony between you and Miss Wells. That is clear from both your complaint and her answer. But this is what your complaint is about, because it's the only thing that your complaint can be about. You ultimately turned over the trust to Miss Wells because you didn't want to be involved in it anymore.
No, not true. Not true. She didn't like the way I was handling the trust, and she
right. She didn't like as
beneficiary
beneficiary the way you were handling the trust, and she said in her mind you were dissipating the trust, and since she was the beneficiary of the trust and a together person, she said, I can take care of this myself and I'll spend the money differently.
With 3 different attorneys, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
In 6 months.
Do you see? What you're doing now is demonstrating just how irritated you still
I'm sorry.
are.
I get emotional about my sister's death still. I'm sorry.
Well, this isn't about your sister's death. This is about money. Okay. If you were emotional about your sister's death, then you would have said, you know, my sister died. She knew how she felt. It was her money. She felt, for whatever reason, either close to Miss Wells or she felt that Miss Wells needed the money more than you did, that you and your wife were doing okay. For whatever reason, it was her money. That's what she decided to do with it. So
absolutely.
When people pass away, whether it be a parent or a grandparent or whatever, and you as a relative don't think that you're getting the appropriate love from the deceased by way of monetary reward, it's irritating. Happens all the time. And you're not unusual for that.
But
this is what you're not unusual for that. But this is what your case is about.
It's not.
After Miss Wells took over the trust and finally got into the condo that was very much in dispute, she found that there were certain things missing from the condo. And as a result of that, she notified the insurance company, because evidently your sister had homeowners insurance. She found laptop missing. She found someone had purposely damaged a sleep member bed.
I really want to speak to that if you let me.
Whatever it is, she found certain things missing in her mind. And she made a complaint to the insurance company, filed a claim with the insurance company, who did it, as they have to, an investigation before they pay out a complaint. And when you call the adjuster who is going to examine your complaint, what she did, and I assume she did make a police report.
Yes, indeed. Name me as culprit.
Okay. Can I see a copy of that police report?
No, because I don't have a copy. Do you have a copy?
I do have a copy.
May I see it?
You were denied a copy?
I was denied a copy because I was the culprit.
Put her out. She's annoying me. She doesn't learn. Not a free-for-all. It's an out.
Come on.
Oh, I beg
It's
your
an
pardon.
outie.
Thank you.
No, you can stay.
Thank you. Sorry, Your Honor.
Forgive me, Your Honor. It's very difficult to find, but I do have it. Here it is.
Give it to Officer Byrd, please.
May I ask what date that was filed?
Okay. So what she says in this Sheriff's Department report, have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what it says.
I appreciate that.
It says she inherited the apartment from her cousin who passed away. Prior to moving in, she says where she lived, and she had seen photos of the apartment, she the defendant, and its contents, and through email exchanges prior to her cousin's passing away. On May 26, 2016, Anna moved to the apartment.
Sorry, when?
She looked around on May 26, 2016.
Your Honor,
That's what
may I
it-
correct that? I didn't move
Just,
there. I was only
I'm reading,
walking.
listen to me, don't correct anything. I'm reading to him what the police report says.
Yes.
If it said something and it wasn't accurate, you should have corrected it at the time.
Oh, yes.
On May 26, 2016, Anna moved to the apartment. She looked around and inventoried the items in the apartment. She saw items were missing from the apartment that she had previously seen in photos. She believes another cousin of hers, Thomas Riley, who had access to the apartment prior to Anna's arrival, entered and damaged the mattress on the bed by cutting out a portion of it with an unknown object.
She's loud.
She also believes he took various other items from the apartment. She does not know for certain if Thomas took the items or damaged the mattress, but she stated she was in a battle with Thomas over being appointed trustee of her cousin's estate. Anna did not desire prosecution and did not want Thomas contacted over the matter. She stated Thomas is emotionally unstable and did not want to aggravate
Yeah,
him.
right.
Anna wanted the matter documented for insurance purposes.
If I may.
You don't have to. I'm formulating a picture. Do you understand?
I understand.
And as very often happens in a legal landscape, the landscape is changing, Mr. Riley.
True.
And it's changing in your favor, sir.
Okay.
Now you got a windfall. You inherited this apartment and whatever money was left in the estate, if there was any. If it had happened to me, I wouldn't have looked at draperies, 2 sets, 92 inches, $650. Sleep number bed, king size, model 1, $6,000. Moen brand shower heads, $2,000. A Galaxy Pro Tab. Dishes, $350. Bissell Pro Heat Steam for the floor. White bleach cruiser bicycle. A purse for $1,000. How much in total did you get from the insurance company?
$16,000, Your Honor. I have.
Just a second. $16,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
None of which, actually, you paid for.
Correct. Yes.
All of which your cousin paid for.
Yes, correct.
Yes, correct. And the single most expensive item was a sleep number bed.
Correct.
And you gained access to the apartment in May of 2016. I said gained access to the apartment. That's what it says in the police report. It says Anna moved to the apartment.
24th, Your
What?
Honor, was the first time I was ever at the apartment.
June?
June 24th.
June 24th. This is my problem with you. Yeah.
Yes.
You're getting ready for the problem.
No, I can explain.
No,
the
you
dates.
can't. There is no way you can explain it to me. Miss Meadows, who is this young man?
It's my son, Gavin,
How old is he?
17.
This might not get pretty, so you want to have Gavin step outside for a while? Sure. Miss Meadows, you and Mr. Gustafson lived together as a couple for a long time. At some point, according to your complaint and Mr. Gustafson's answer, you decided to buy a home. According to you together, according to Mr. Gustafson, it was his home. The deed to the home is in his name alone. Is that correct?
Correct.
There's some discrepancy as to who put down the down payment, who paid the bills. I don't know. I will find out. But at some point, the two of you weren't getting along. And at that point, it looks as if you filed for a protective order and had Mr. Gustafson excluded from the home.
Correct.
And that lasted almost a year.
Correct.
while it wound around the court system. Now, when you got a protective order, I am correct that there was no hospitalization or anything because of injuries that you received as a result of fight with him or a result of an assault.
There was an assault, but no injuries, Your Honor.
There were no hospital records or any medical records of any injury that initially, we're not talking about secondarily, you had 2 protective orders or one with a violation. The initial one that you filed was in what month and year, Ms. Meadows?
That particular restraining order was in February of 2016, and we had been living in the home approximately 2 months.
And the home was in Mr. Gustafson's name, so it was his home because you were unmarried.
We bought it together, Your Honor.
Doesn't matter. The home is in his name. You're not married. The home is in what state?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, I assume, has the same laws as most places where you either have community property or equitable distribution if you're married and nothing if you're not, right? Nothing. It's his home. It's in his name. So in February of 2016, you'd been living in the home for 2 months. What kind of work were you doing?
At that time, I was a hairdresser, and I had my own business with my leather works.
Did you file tax returns in 2016?
Yes, I did.
How much did you claim that you earned in 2016?
I don't recall.
Give me a figure. 10, 20, 30,000?
$20,000?
$20,000. And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a union carpenter.
And how much did you claim that you earned in 2016?
I believe it was $72,000.
So clearly you were supportive of the household.
Yes.
How much of a down payment was put down on this house?
$1,000.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And what was the total purchase price of the house?
$206,000.
Whose name was on the mortgage?
His
Mine
name
was.
was.
Alone.
Correct.
So he is totally responsible for the mortgage, a $205,000 mortgage, with a mortgage payment of how much, sir?
$1,300.
And the taxes, which you paid.
Yes.
In February of 2016, which is the date of your first restraining order after you moved into the house, I'd like to see a copy of what you alleged. Because ultimately, this is what the case is about. You want money owed for lost wages and fees due to a false restraining order. The fact that when he finally got back into his own home, you claim he returned the property that was there while you were there for the year. Some of the property was vandalized. And punitive damages for an assault. That's what your claim is about. And he says he wants money for attorney's fees and vandalism. So that's why we're getting into all this minutiae. So I would like to see in February 2016 what allegations you made against the defendant in order to get him removed from his own house.
Your Honor, okay.
Don't answer me.
Okay.
I want to see the allegations that you made against Mr. Gustafson to get him removed from his own home.
That's not the restraining order. Pardon me, Your Honor. That's not the restraining order that got him removed from the home.
I'm reading your complaint. In February
different one.
2016, he started drinking and getting violent. I filed a restraining order and he was removed from the house. That's what you wrote. Do you want me to show you?
That was then, Your Honor, okay? That was then. And then he came back into the house.
No. I want to know, is that the truth or a mistake or a lie that in February 2016, you filed a restraining order against him and got him removed from the house? That's my question.
Yes, ma'am, that is
Then
true.
I want to see the allegations that you made in February of 2016 to get Mr. Gustafson removed from his own house. And I also would like to see any of the medical records or supporting documents that you had to get him removed from his own house. While she's looking for those, Mr. Gustafson, who paid the mortgage on the house for the 10 months that she was living there?
I did.
Who paid the taxes for the 10 months that she was living there?
I did.
I'm waiting. February 2016, I want to see the allegations. Now, do you see why I put your son out?
Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
Let's have it.
I'm looking. That wasn't.
I
don't have
listen
that
to me
one.
carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
I take people who file charges of domestic violence very seriously because domestic violence, whether it's perpetrated against a man or a woman, is an atrocious thing to have to live with. I don't like when somebody circumvents the process by filing a restraining order when there is no basis for it in order to get a leg up in what isn't even a matrimonial action because the two of you aren't married. Now let's see if you don't have a copy of that. I'm not interested in the other restraining order. Pay careful attention. How long was he out of the house starting in February 2016, and you and your kid were living in the house, not paying the mortgage, not paying the taxes, and he was?
I did pay the mortgage and the taxes, and I have proof of those payments as well.
Sure, just a second.
Okay, yep.
I would like you to tell me how long he was out of the house.
10 months, Your Honor.
10 months. And so what you're going to show me are the 10 months worth of mortgage payments and taxes. Go through.
I don't have 10 months worth. I have the first months, and he changed the passwords on everything so nobody
Just a
could make
sec.
the payments but himself.
Listen to me carefully. The answer is you didn't make payments on the mortgage or the taxes. You have an excuse, but you and your kid lived there rent-free, mortgage-free in his house based upon a restraining order that you don't have. How did I know you either wouldn't have it or it would be a whole lot of baloney? So then the two of you hired lawyers, and then everybody's spending money. Did you pay your lawyers? Did you pay your lawyer?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay him?
$2,000.
What's the name of your lawyer? And how much have you paid that lawyer?
I paid him $7,000 and I still owe him 10.
So now, for no valid reason that I can think of, he's out of the house. It's his house. He's paying the mortgage. He's paying the taxes. You want to stay there? Send the check to him. You don't have to pay the mortgage. You know what the mortgage is. You know what the taxes are. So now, 10 months later, something happens. You want to tell me what happened? I mean, I read your complaint. I know I see what happened. You want to tell me what happened?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
10 months later.
10 months later, he starts calling and says, my lawyer quit, you won. I have that in all the text messages.
Right. My lawyer quit. You outlasted him. You were able to pay a lawyer. You were able to keep this thing going in the courts. He had no more money to pay the lawyer. You weren't paying the mortgage. He was. Okay, so he said, you won. I got exactly what you did. Precisely what you did. So you said what?
Your Honor.
So you said what?
I said, well, let's make a deal then.
Good. Let's make a deal. I want you to tell me what deal you wanted to make with him for his own house.
I wanted to buy the house from him.
For how much?
For the $206,000 plus any money that he put into it. It was arranged with our lawyers in the documents I have.
Okay. And you were prepared to pay him that and get another mortgage on your $20,000 a year income. And there are 1,000 banks after 2008 who were going to give you a mortgage on a $206,000 house on $20,000 worth of income. They're lining up. I always get nervous when I see people with a whole lot of papers in front of them, especially people who have been in an ongoing custody problem for 2 years. So I'm going to simplify this for you, because sometimes in this job I have to handle cases that I know absolutely nothing about historically. I know everything about this case, despite the fact I've never seen you. The two of you were together, you had a child, and you separated in 2015. And since that time, there has been an ongoing acrimonious relationship which culminated just recently in a custody decision. So far, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. And the custody decision was something that you didn't like, because it awarded Mr. Kittle, according to what I read, 50-50 custody. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is something that you did not initially agree to.
It's okay with me that the decision was made.
That's not what I said. I said you did not initially agree with it. The answer is, if you initially agreed with it, it wouldn't have been in court for how long?
It's a year and a half, so almost
A year and a half. Because if you would agreed with, is it a boy or a girl?
A boy.
If you would agreed with your sons spending half the time with each parent, you wouldn't have been in court for a year and a half. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. So now, this is what your lawsuit is for. First of all, how old was your son when you separated?
2.
And I'm not going to ask Ms. Kraft this question because she didn't give me a truthful answer when she swore to her complaint. How long were the two of you living together prior to separating?
3.5 years.
That is untrue, Judge.
What?
That is untrue.
Yeah, I read what you wrote here. Mr. Kittle,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
your son was born, was Ms. Kraft living with you?
Yes, she was.
Was his birth a natural birth?
Yes,
Who took her to the hospital?
I did.
Not her mother.
No, not her mother.
You did.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know she said that.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
Just a second.
Okay.
You did.
Yes.
I never said my mother took me. We were on our way to a barbecue at his father's house that day.
Listen to me. I don't believe a word of what's in your papers. Do you understand? You said, I never lived with him. I always lived with my mother, but all my things and my son's things were at his house just because. Let me
Not
see
all
if I,
my things.
Let me see.
Some of my things.
Just a second. What you said was, Christopher and I dated for 4 years, have a 3-year-old son. We never lived together, but I was keeping my and my son's stuff there, furniture, TV, toys, etc.,
'Cause we
at
were
his house
planning on
because
moving
I
in.
was living with my mother.
Because we were planning on moving in together and getting married and
Yeah,
having a
I don't
family.
believe what you're saying. Anyway, 2 years later, you want all this stuff back.
I wanted it back
I'm not
from day
asking you a
one.
question. I told you I don't believe you. You just have to understand. I read it. I didn't believe it when I read it. And I for sure don't believe it now. Because there's no question. Son was born. He drove you to the hospital. Who took her home from the hospital?
I did.
Of course.
I have a
And when
text-
if you want to make a fool of yourself, you can do that. I'll be more than happy to let you do that. When you took her home from the hospital with your son, was there a room ready for your son?
Yes.
Was there a crib there?
Yes.
Who bought it?
Her aunt bought the crib
Her aunt bought the crib.
Right.
And had it delivered where?
to my house.
Her
That
aunt
is
who?
incorrect.
Her aunt who?
I don't remember her name. Her dad's sister. I don't remember her name. Laura, I think it is.
It was delivered to my house. It has the address, and I have a receipt with my address on it at my mother's house.
I don't care. I don't believe you. Neither did the family court judge. That's why he was awarded 50-50 custody.
I have a message from Christopher claiming that I never lived at his house.
Fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Now, if that's your case, was there a trial with regard to custody?
Yes, ma'am, there was.
Do each of you have an attorney?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
You have an attorney?
Yes,
How many witnesses did you call? Called yourself?
yes.
Who else?
My mother.
Who else?
I think that was it. They also called police officers.
They called the police officers from an incident allegedly 2 years ago.
Yes.
And after the entire case, what happened to the temporary restraining order that you filed against him?
It got dismissed.
Dismissed. And how many allegations did you file against him with the Department of Children and Family Services?
2.
And what happened with those cases?
I'm not sure. I think
Nothing.
they were, nothing.
Nothing. And the judge, after you filed those cases, awarded him half custody. What days do you have your son with you?
It was 5 or 6 DCFS reports, and I have my kid Friday. Every Friday we swap, so it's 50-50. So I pick him up at 6 p.m. on Friday, and then, vice versa.
And how long has that been going on?
Since she did the order of protection on me, so 2 years.
So that's been in effect for 2 years.
Yes. They consolidated both the custody and the order of protection to save us some money.
When was this final order delivered by the court after the
March
trial?
31st. The judgment you're talking about, the custody judgment?
I'd like to see it, please.
Okay.
And the order of protection ended November 18th, 2016.
And I highlighted with the juicy stuff.
And I never objected
I'm not
to
s-
the 50.
I'm-
Sorry.
These were the findings of the court after a full trial. Although the parties never married, they lived together for the first 2 years of life and were engaged to be married. They split up in the fall of 2015, and mother moved in with her mother. After this case was filed, a temporary order of protection which provided for week-on, week-off parenting time. So that's what the judge found. I didn't even read this. After a full trial, that's what the court found, that you and defendant lived together.
So it doesn't even matter that he admitted I never lived with him and I have that message?
Listen to me carefully. It matters to me what the court found after a full trial.
But we're not here about custody right now because it's still an open case.
I'm not listening to you. I'm reading. You have another child from another relationship who was living with whom when you were living with Mr. Kittle?
With me and my mother, and we'd stay
Okay,
the
so
night at
the
Mr.
child-
Kittle's house.
I can't get a straight answer from you. Who was the child living with?
With me.
Her older child.
Yes.
He was not. He was
I'm not
attending
listening to
school
you.
in Belleville. He doesn't have any proof that I was living with him either, and I have
very
proof
good. Your
that
case
I
is
wasn't.
dismissed, primarily because you didn't listen 3 times when I told you not to speak, but mostly because you have no case. And you better get used to the fact that when you make a baby with somebody, that baby has 2 parents. Not just, no, clearly you don't. Clearly you don't. Because after everything was done and you got a final custody decision, which I haven't even finished reading, but it was clear that the judge didn't believe a lot of what you said from my quick perusal of this decision. What happens, unless you learn to get along with each other and co-parent this child, is, and I'm telling you from reading what little I did from this judge's order, he's going to end up with full custody of the child because this judge is not going to take nonsense from you. It's clear to me.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm just telling you, this judge who heard your case is not going to take nonsense from you. If you find a reason to fudge with the custody arrangement because this man is not giving up. And what happens in situations like this is if there is an obstreperous parent who undercuts another parent, what's going to happen is you're going to lose custody of this child. I just want you to understand. I'm giving you the benefit of my crystal ball. He's keeping all the stuff that's in his house.
Even though
the
I have
judge found
receipts.
I don't care if you have receipts. I don't care if you have toilet paper from here to Pluto. The judge found that you lived together and that you were unemployed since 2008. Do you want me to read the finding?
Yes, my mother bought
just
all the
right
items.
here.
I even have
Just-
bank statements.
Mother lives in Belleville with her mother, her brother, her 8-year-old son was born of a previous relationship. Mother is a student. She was last employed in 2008. So
a
that when you were
full-time
living with
student.
him, when you were living with him for 2 years, unless you had some other form of income, he was supporting you.
My mother.
Your case is dismissed.
Ma'am.
Listen
He
to me.
never-
Listen to me.
he
Her
never
case
supported
is
anything of mine.
dismissed. I read your counterclaim, which you would never have filed but for this ridiculous lawsuit that she filed.
No.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Because I
just wanted to be
have-
over.
What? You want it over.
Right.
I understand that,
Right.
and you're right.
I just want my property.
You can't have it. It's not yours.
It is mine. I
Your
have
case is
receipts for
dismissed.
it, and it
We're
was
done.
paid
Put her
for.
out. You're withdrawing your counterclaim, correct? Yes, you are.
Oh, well, the
Perfect.
deductible. Can I
Perfect.
just,
We're done. Tell me what happened with the dog.
I was walking home from school and across the street, and a lady was coming up towards me with a dog and baby stroller. And
So she had a baby stroller. That was this lady here?
Yes. And while I was getting closer, the dog was like jumping around and making growling noises, and she was saying, "Don't do it to the dog." And
She said, don't do it?
Yes.
Was she holding on to the leash?
Yeah, she had the leash on her hand while she was holding on to the string.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that is false.
Just a second. Don't interrupt. Go ahead.
And while I passed her, the dog went around and behind her and bit me on the leg.
And what did you do? Did you go home?
Yes.
Did the lady say anything to you?
No.
Did you say anything to the lady?
No.
Did you say your dog bit me?
No.
How did you find her if you hadn't said anything to her?
It was my dad.
Your dad found her. Okay. Did you go to the doctor
Yes.
and you had to get a shot?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me where they gave you the shot.
On both arms and both legs.
And did you have to go back for shots more than once or just once?
I would have, but they found the dog.
So you got 4 shots that day.
Yes.
Do you remember what the dog looked like?
Yes, it was white and fluffy. It's like medium size.
Had you ever seen this lady or the dog before?
No.
Okay. You can go back there. So you can stand next to your dad in case I have any other questions for you. Mr. Nunez,
Yes.
how did you find Miss Rodriguez?
The next day after, there was another incident, and then that individual we had spoken to that was in search of that dog also realized that it was the exact same dog that had bitten him. We received a phone call that following day on December 9th, and she informed us of it.
Who called you?
The individual from the Pflugerville Police Department made
And
the
said
phone
that
call to me that next day.
That they had believed
They did find that dog due to the fact of another individual being bitten
by that dog.
by the same dog, yes.
On what date was the other individual?
That was on December 9th, in which that second incident occurred.
And the incident involving your son was on the 8th.
On the 8th, the day before. And then we've got documents of both of those incidents.
I'd like to
if
see
needed.
both.
Your Honor, that was hearsay. That was actually my mom was walking the dog, and there was a pit bull
Listen to me.
unleashed.
Don't interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
This is both.
Both,
Unless
yes.
you-
The first is
If
ourselves.
I ask you a
and the
question,
second is
but
that
don't tell me
individual
what
the following
happened with
day.
your mom and what's hearsay.
Sure.
I actually know what hearsay is.
You got it.
We're speaking of the dog that's bitten 2 different individuals, not who was walking it the second day.
Your Honor, may I point out that on that record of my mother-in-law with the second incident, it shows that the other dog was not on a leash and was coming towards my mother-in-law and our dog.
And we actually called 911 that day. My mother did.
Just a second. Were either one of you there?
No.
No, ma'am.
Now I'll hear you. Go ahead. Tell me the story.
Okay, may I approach the board?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it was December 8th, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The school was being...
Sorry, did she say Sunday?
Just listen to me. Don't interrupt her.
Okay.
It was December 8th. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was going down Bishop's Gate I saw that Samuel was coming, so my sister's very afraid of dogs, so I know to be respectful of others who are walking near us. And so I stopped to the left side with my dog on my left and on my right hand with the stroller. I directed Samuel to go around us and...
Just a second. Why would you do that? No,
I didn't direct him.
Listen to me.
I just stood
Stop.
there.
And you have to know, you're talking to somebody who's had dogs for 50 years and who walks dog on a leash when I'm outside. Why would you direct or suggest that Sammy go around the dog?
I directed him by standing there. I didn't tell him verbally. I just stood there to the side of him so he knew that he could pass.
Don't tell me what he knew. He passed you.
Yes, he did.
And
we walked up, we kept walking, and then my dog started barking as we had already walked off.
And
I turned around and my dog was just barking, and the kid didn't react.
Just a second. Be very careful. You know, when you start to say things that you've been practicing in your mind to say, but as you actually articulate them, they sound stupid.
Okay.
Okay? They sound stupid. Then you're sort of getting away from yourself. And that's what's happening to you right now. Because now you were turning around because the dog started to bark. And as you were turning around, you were going to tell me what happened? As you were turning around?
As I turned around, I pulled my dog back and Samuel just walked off. He didn't react. He didn't tell me anything. So I didn't assume anything. And I carried on with my walk. And that's what happened.
Well, it's kind of...
I don't want to hear you, sir. You weren't there.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Miss Rodriguez, why when you start to tell a lie, I always have a saying, and that saying is, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. I'm going to read what you swore to in your answer.
Okay.
On the day of the incident, I was walking Nala and pushing Alana in her stroller. As plaintiff's son approached, I pulled Nala's leash and kept her on my left side.
Yes.
I directed him to pass on my right side. Once he passed, I started walking again. All of a sudden, his son came up from behind us and scared Nala. When he startled us, Nala reacted to protect us. Now, what part of that didn't you put in? You want to look at it? You signed it.
No, I have a copy, Your Honor.
Wait, just a second. What part of that didn't you tell me?
I just gave you the simple...
No, that was very
story.
specific. I was swinging to the right. I was swinging to the left. I turned around. He walked away. What part of all that my dog was protecting us because he came up from behind, didn't... You see, when you have a truthful story, you don't have to have a good memory. You don't want to read this again, and you don't want me to read it again, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Were you cited once or twice for your dog biting somebody within a week's period?
Once.
Once. And that was this child?
Yeah, the one.
That was this
the one
child?
incident, yes, ma'am.
And what happened with the other incident?
Nothing came to be of it. The dog was not on a leash, so it was really nothing to be.
Can I see the bite, please? You have photographs and the medical bills.
Yes. Added with those are the requests in regards to the payment made by the insurance company, the request for those dollar amounts being returned to them.
Actually, the amount that...
With the wrong name.
Like 10.
Correct.
Your insurance covered most of that?
The out-of-pocket for the medical
Yes.
was just a hair over the $1,346. That includes all the medical and my missing of the time from work.
No.
Medical alone.
I just want what you were out of pocket on your medical. That doesn't mean
Your
that
Honor,
I'm discounting.
I have the email where he sent us the out-of-pocket expenses that he
I'd like to see it.
expected of us.
Here's a copy of the true medical records.
Just a second. His out-of-pocket was about $300. Now, this is my problem with you, Ms. Rodriguez. First of all, because you either lied in your deposition or you lied when you told me your story. I'm not so offended by that, although I should be, for the court, be offended by that. What I'm offended by for this young man is, I believe you sensed in your dog that your dog was uncomfortable as Sammy was approaching. Either you knew that because your dog had been aggressive before,
No.
or you knew that because your dog at that moment was agitated. Now, how long have you had the dog?
5 years.
Well, then maybe it's because when you have a dog for 5 years, and I assume that this is your first baby?
Yes.
And the dog has been your baby for 5 years, and you have a brand new baby that the dog is not happy. Been there, done that. And the dog's personality changes. The dog's personality changes because the dog is jealous of the new baby in the house. And I can guarantee you that you've seen signs of that change of behavior since your new baby came home. Whatever it is, when Sammy passed, Sammy did not come back in an aggressive way. Sammy did not double back to a barking dog. That's not the kind of child this is. And if you sense that your dog was agitated, you cross the street. You don't direct the child to walk around you. You get your baby buggy and your dog and you move them out of harm's way.
I understand.
I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you understand. Do you still have the dog?
Yes, I do.
Well, you just be careful of that baby. I'm just telling you.
Oh, I have pictures here of my dog
Listen.
and the baby, and she
you know how
absolutely
many
loves.
Do you know how many pictures I've seen?
Well, I just like to say
do you know how
that
many
my
pictures,
dog's not a dangerous dog.
Your dog bit the child for no reason.
I disagree.
There was a reason.
Listen, so far your wife hasn't given me a reason. She's given 2 different stories, but not one reason.
It's the same story, just one story is more elaborate than the other.
No, madam. There are 2 different stories, 2 entirely different stories. And fortunately, this is on tape,
Yes.
so the 10 million people who are going to watch this case will see that you told 2 distinct stories, but neither one of them suggest that this child did anything wrong. One day, out of the blue, your daughter is going to be crawling on the ground, and Nala, Nola, whatever the dog's name is going to say, you know what, it was much better around here before I had competition. And then you're going to say, well, she never did that before. But the truth is, you've been forewarned. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. We're done. Ms. Johnson, you and Ms. Page are connected because you each have a child who has the same father.
Yes.
Would that be you?
Yes.
Okay. And it is your claim that the defendant came to the house. You live together?
No. Well, as of now, yes.
As of?
Back when the case happened, yeah, we did live together.
And while you were living together, it is your claim that the defendant came over one evening, assaulted you, and vandalized your car.
Yes.
The defendant denies she was even in town on the night that she's alleging that this happened. And she has a counterclaim. She says that you've been harassing her. She believes that you somehow vandalized her car with some foreign object in her gas tank. She's got a counterclaim. Okay, when did this incident happen?
On May 5th.
Of this year?
Yes.
What time?
It was about 12:30, between 12:30 a.m. and 1 a.m.
So tell me what happened.
Okay, Your Honor. On the night of May 5th, me and Gary were celebrating Cinco de Mayo. We had some margaritas and tacos, and then we were going to call it a night around 12:30. Gary goes to bed, and his phone just starts to ring right before I lay down. And it's an unknown call constantly coming in. So eventually I answer, and it was
How many times did it ring?
probably about 5 missed calls.
Okay.
And so finally I pick up, and it's Zuri on the other line, and she's like, where's Gary? And I said,
Now, do you know her? Had you met her before?
yes.
How many times?
We've known each other for over 3 years.
So you knew her voice, or she identified herself?
Exactly, yes.
What did she say?
She said, where's Gary? I said, he's asleep. She said, he's been at my house for 3 nights. And I said, well, that's impossible because he's been home. So she's like, well, where is he? I said, he's asleep. She said, wake him up. So then I wake Gary up, and I hand Gary the phone, and he's like, this is a joke, just hang up. So right before I hang up, she says, open the door. Right before we opened the door, it was a knock maybe 5 seconds later. So Gary runs to the door and looks in the peephole, and he can't make out who it is. She's like leaning on the door. So then I look in the peephole, and I said, Gary, this is a Zuri. And Gary's like, is it? So he looks back in the peephole, and then I yell, we didn't open the door yet. I say, Zuri, why are you at my house at 1 a.m? She's like, I need to speak to Gary. I said, okay. So then Gary's like, well, what do you want? So immediately I call the police. And I said, I need a police officer dispatched to my location. So Gary goes and opens the door, and she's extremely intoxicated. She's like, I need you to come to my truck. And Gary says, why? I'm standing behind Gary. Gary has his hands on the side of the door. I'm standing behind him, and she's like, well, I need to speak to you. I need you to come to my truck. So then Gary's like, well, what do you need? Then she calls me a drunk and just starts like talking crazy and calling me names and says I'm scary. And then we started arguing. I'm still in the back of Gary. So then she reaches under Gary and grabs my hair and pulls me into the hallway. And then that's when we start to fight. I have pictures of bruises, scratches, and everything from that night.
I'd like to see them, please. I'd also like, did the police ever respond?
Yes, they did.
I'd like to see the police report.
Okay. There's also pictures in there of the broken window as well.
Well, I see the window. We haven't gotten to the window yet.
Okay.
Now, There are pictures here of a broken windshield.
Yes.
And the police report is clear that after the police came to discuss what happened to you, you were sort of reluctant to speak to them and a little, according to the report, a little intoxicated yourself.
Yes.
A sergeant also responded to the location, and it was the sergeant who observed the broken windshield on the car. When they identified the car as belonging to you,
Yes.
they went back upstairs to speak to you. At that time, since you believed she had broken your windshield, then you said, well, that's enough. I want to press charges. So that's how we're here. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I get from reading this report. Okay. What time had you parked your car that evening?
I would say about 6 p.m.
Now, you told me before that you and Gary were living together at the time.
Yes.
That's not what it says in here.
Yeah, Gary was living with me on and off around that time.
Well, now it is. So Gary was living with you on and off.
Yes.
Lisa, that would be you, right?
Yes.
Lisa said that Gary, her child's father, was only there to watch their child. Lisa and Gary were no longer in a dating relationship, nor was blank and blank. I assume her and somebody else said that even though that they had problems in the past, they had not seen or spoken to one another in quite some time. Lisa claimed to have no idea why the defendant and her friend arrived at the door. Now, you didn't tell me about a friend.
I was getting to that part.
Mr. and Mrs. Walker, about a year and a half ago, the defendant had a daycare. At that time, your children, the oldest was 9, and then you had a 5-year-old and an infant who was 4, and you were working. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. 4 months.
And you brought all 3 children over to the daycare, and this was July 2nd of 2015.
Correct.
This was not the first time you had taken the children to her daycare. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How long had they been going to the daycare?
Almost 2 years, my older children were. And since my youngest was about 7 weeks old, I had started taking him to them.
Now, I'm going to start now with you. Miss Shearer?
Yes.
Do you have your own children?
I do.
How old?
I have a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
So at the time, Miss Walker, I think, dropped off the children.
Yes.
Your children were at home.
Yes.
So she had 3, you had 4.
3 of my children were at home.
Between your children, her children, there were 6 children.
Correct.
How many other children were you caring for in July of 2015?
That day, I was caring between 4 and 6 more children.
Between 10 and 12 children?
Correct.
And who was there with you?
My husband.
Period?
Yes.
How much do you get per child for
$20 a day is what I normally charge.
And you were charging her $20 a day or $60?
I don't believe
How
so.
much was she charging you?
It was $350 for every 2 weeks.
And did you know that she had between 4 and 6 other children aside from her own?
I did not know an exact number, but I knew there was other children there.
Did you know how many people she had taking care of all these children?
No. Well,
Between 10
who
and
was
12
working at the
children?
daycare, I knew that both of them were working at the daycare.
What state do you live in?
Idaho?
You need a license to have a daycare in your house?
Yes, ma'am.
You still have your license?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you care for now?
Between 10 and 12.
With him?
By myself.
Where is he?
He has a job.
Now, your 4-month-old child had a broken leg.
Yes.
And you dropped him off at the daycare. He was fine.
That morning, he was perfectly fine.
Subsequently, you got a call from the defendant who said that she couldn't stop him from crying. Is that right?
Correct.
Your lawsuit wants her to pay for your medical bills because she thought that they would be covered by some Crime Victims Compensation Act. But they weren't because they found that nobody probably purposely broke a child's leg.
They only found that there wasn't enough
Don't
evidence.
tell me what they found. They weren't covered. Now, this is your story that I'm getting from your papers,
Yes.
right? You were in the kitchen cooking.
Correct. It was lunchtime.
In the kitchen, you have a swing set up.
No, in the living room. It's a straight room.
So it's one large room.
Yes.
So the swing is in the living room.
Correct.
And the baby was okay when she dropped the baby off.
Yes, ma'am.
Then I'm reading your answer, and you say that the 9-year-old was holding the baby.
Correct.
And playing rough with the baby.
Correct.
Let me see what you wrote here. So her 9-year-old, who you're supposed to be watching, was, let me just get the words right here, Bird. The baby was crying, so his older brother got him out of the swing and he stopped crying.
Correct.
The baby started crying again, and when I turned around, do you remember what you saw?
Yes.
Tell me what you saw.
The brother had the baby on his back on the floor. He had his legs up in the air. He was holding his legs or ankles, and he was twisting him back and forth throughout the living room.
Okay, so what did you do?
I asked him to please stop.
You asked him, according to you, I told him to pick up the baby and play nicely.
Correct.
You're an idiot. How could any state allow you to take care of children? You see a 9-year-old playing roughly with a 4-month-old infant who you have already told to take out of a swing because the baby was crying. That's your job. You leave the sink, or you leave the television, or you leave whatever you're doing, and you go inside and you attend to the baby. Not you. You tell the 9-year-old, play nicely. According to her, I just want you saw the baby being taken by the legs and ankles and swung. This was the motion that you made, and swung around the room. And you say to a 9-year-old, play nicely. I'm going to read on. When the baby continued to cry, and you turn away, because it says, when the baby continued to cry, I looked to see what was going on. So now you tell him, play nicely. After you saw him swinging around the baby, play nicely, you went back to doing what you're doing. Your nails, the TV, something, because God knows where he was.
We were making
And the older brother was still not being gentle enough. Again, do you run in? Does genius over here run in, take this 4-month-old defenseless infant away from a 9-year-old little boy? No, not the two of you. I told the older brother he wasn't playing with him correctly and to put him back in the swing. The baby never stopped crying after that. If the state of Idaho doesn't take away your license to take care of other people's children, I have no idea who's running that shop. No idea. Outrageous. So I assume from this answer that, according to you, it's the 9-year-old's fault.
I don't know that it happened in my care.
Well, in all the time that you were taking care of the baby, prior to that, did you ever call the mother and say to her, come and pick up the baby won't stop crying? No. In all the time that you took care of the baby? No. And this time you called her and said, come and pick up the baby won't stop crying. And within 24 hours, the baby was in surgery for a broken leg. You think that that's coincidental?
Maybe the baby was having a bad day. She had suggested that he was constipated when I called her.
If I were running the social service department in Idaho, tomorrow your license should be yanked. Tomorrow.
They did an investigation and they
Tomorrow! Then the person who did an investigation had an IQ in the double digits. In a minute. Because how you can justify, all you have to read is your answer, which I believe. You and the genius were inside cooking. You have 10 to 12 children, including a 4-month-old infant, and your babies, and you have to be cooking together so that nobody is really watching the 4-month-old baby. Nobody. We're done. I'm so upset. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That will cover $4,000 of your medical bills plus some. You have a counterclaim for legal fees because you had to hire a lawyer because of charges that. Good. Counterclaims dismissed. We're done. How many children do you have, Miss Bussey?
2.
How old are they? 12.
12, and I have a 9-month-old.
And who's the father of the 9-month-old?
It's a friend of.
Is that this gentleman?
No.
Who is this gentleman?
This is my boyfriend.
So your boyfriend is not the father of the 9-month-old?
No, he is not.
Did the boy always live with his mother?
Yes, he did, up till recently, yes.
Up until when?
Up until November is when she moved out of her house.
You were living with your son in whose house?
It was my friend that is the father of my 9-month-old and his now ex-wife.
So you were living with a couple who were friends?
Yes, I was friends with him.
And then you moved in with he and his wife?
Yes.
And how long did you live there?
I lived there, it was about a year and a half.
And I assume you left there because you were pregnant?
No, I left there because I started getting threatening emails that were threatening my life.
From his wife?
We don't know who they were from. They were anonymous emails.
But you would assume they were from his wife?
Yeah, I'd assume, but there's been no proof.
So you moved out. Where did you go?
I moved in with my boyfriend.
He was not her boyfriend at the time.
If you're going to shout, you're going to leave. Do you understand? So you moved out of the house.
Yes.
And you moved in with the boyfriend.
Yes.
And his wife.
Now you can put her out.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You moved in with your boyfriend.
Correct.
How far away did he live from where you had been living?
Quite a ways. I moved from, it was Council Bluffs, Iowa to like West Omaha.
Your son is 12 years old.
Yes.
What did you do about his school?
We still transported him to his school.
Is what you're telling me you moved with your son to your boyfriend's house?
Yes.
And you took your son with you and transported him to and from school?
Yes, that is correct.
Is that correct?
To the point, I have no idea. I mean, it was a 10-day time, and I wanted him to come live with me at the time, and that seemed to be a last option. But I told her...
Just a second. You're getting ahead of yourself, because that's not what you wrote in your complaint. In your complaint, what you said was she left the boy alone. At least it was my impression that she left him at the house of this couple with whom she had been living.
No, I'm sorry. She sent him to live with some other friends of hers that...
Who?
I can't seem to remember the names. Chelsea, one of her friends.
Is that when she moved out of the house?
Besides the little time that Austin did stay with her, yes. She was moving him around from my sister-in-laws to me sometimes to her friend Chelsea. Now,
Why?
Because I was getting these threatening emails that were threatening my life, and I was trying to protect my son from being around that.
Okay, well, that's a very good idea. Then he should go and live with his father.
Your Honor?
Shh.
I'm sorry.
Just a second. Now, this case is all about an overpayment of child support. He came to live with his father on what date?
It was November the 18th.
And is he still there?
Yes, he is still there.
And did you receive any child support from Mr. McGlynn after November 18th?
Yes, I did.
How much?
I received it weekly from that following week until now.
Did you finally stop the order?
I did. It took some time, though.
How many weeks did you pay when your son was with you?
At least 10.
December, January, that's 8. 2 weeks in November, that's 10. Okay, that's at least 10 weeks.
Yes.
Why do you think you're entitled to that money? You were never married, right?
No, we were not.
Okay, so this is just child support that he pays.
That is correct.
Well, why do you think you're entitled to this money?
The whole reason that he went with his father was I was getting these threatening
I heard about the threatening emails. Well, then that's a very good idea, because if you were living with a couple that were friends of yours and you got pregnant by the husband and had to move out, I would say that you should do everything possible to protect your 12-year-old. And then moving out, and evidently you had a boyfriend at the same time, now you're with the boyfriend, doesn't sound very stable to me. We're only talking about why you think you're entitled to $75 a week child support when the child was living with his father.
Well, he had time to get it shut off, and it wasn't until just recently that he went ahead and did that.
The government works very, very slowly. Look at Congress. And the lower you get, the slower they work. So if you say, boys with me, could you stop the payments? Sure. Eventually they get stuck, because it comes right out of your check, I assume.
Comes right out of my check every
$750, judgment for the plaintiff. Are you two married?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
You live together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You rented a house
Yes,
from
ma'am.
the defendant?
Yes.
When did you rent the house from the defendant?
I lived there from May 2016 until May 2017.
And I moved there in August till May of 2017.
And Mr. Carter?
Yes, ma'am.
When you rented the house from Mr. Kimbrough, did he give you a lease? No.
No, ma'am.
How much was the rent?
$525 per month.
And did you give him security deposit?
No, ma'am. I gave him $1,000 security deposit.
Is that correct, Mr. Kimbrough?
That is not correct.
How much security deposit did he give you?
He gave me no security deposit. He was supposed to give me $125.
Show me proof that you gave him $1,000 security deposit.
I don't have.
Okay. Something happened in May. He told you that the house had to be renovated or something.
Yes, ma'am.
You had to
Yes,
move
ma'am.
into another
Yes,
house.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you go?
Well, he said he had another place for us to go to. He had another property that we could stay for the 2 weeks while the renovation was being done.
Fine. So, did you go there?
Yes, ma'am. He took us there the next day.
Just a second. To another house?
Yes.
And you moved into that house also in May?
Yes.
Yes. May 1st.
How long did you stay there?
We stayed about 3 weeks.
No. It was till the 11th when the actual owner of the property
The
came.
11th of May?
Yes.
Okay, and then the real owner came of that property.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And threw you out.
Yes, he came with the police.
Okay, because she didn't know that you were squatting in her house. Who owned the house?
Jimmy.
How did you have access to the house?
Well, I had access to the house because I'm the RA, which is the resident assistant.
Resident assistant what?
He has about 10 properties.
Oh, so you had keys to the house?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was a lockbox there.
I got it. Okay. So then the real owner came with the police and said, now you have to go because you're squatting in my house. I don't know who you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Okay, fine. So you left. Where did you go?
We went to a hotel from that point on till we were able to find another place to move.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I have
what
the
do you...
receipts right
just
here.
a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you went to a hotel.
Yes.
And you didn't pay him rent in June.
No, we didn't
ma'am.
pay him rent in June.
And did you pay May's rent?
No, we didn't
No,
pay
ma'am.
him
So you
rent in
didn't
May.
pay May's rent either?
No, ma'am.
And so you lived in this other person's house until May 11th.
Yes, ma'am.
And you hadn't paid rent for those 11 days.
No,
No,
we
ma'am.
haven't.
And you didn't pay rent in June.
No, ma'am.
No, we haven't.
And you have no proof that you gave him $1,000 security deposit.
No, ma'am. Not
So
anymore.
what would you like me to do for you? So
Right.
what? So he lied. I mean, what's your damage?
The damages are punitive damages, Your Honor. In the process of all of this, I lost my job. I wasn't able to get to work. I had to resign my work because I needed to find another place to stay. I overdrafted my bank account because I immediately didn't have available funds to rent a motel for $300. I did have $500 that I was making payments monthly.
He's not paying you money.
For him.
Listen to me. He's not paying you money.
But, well...
He's not paying you. He's not paying you for losing your job. He's not paying you because you were inconvenienced.
He's supposed to give us a 30-day notice. He told us on Friday to...
Do you have a lease?
No, but we
Listen
didn't...
to me. Do you have a lease?
No, ma'am, not anymore.
You never had a lease with him.
No, ma'am.
He didn't bring it. He said he would. He never did.
Okay. So we have nothing. Now you have a counterclaim. And your counterclaim says that they damaged the property.
Yes.
How did they damage the property?
Well...
Just a second. Do you own the property?
No, I do not.
Do you have a power of attorney from the owner of the property?
No, but I was the contractor for the owner.
Show me that you were the contractor for the owner.
I also have a copy of a 30-day notice.
Just tell me what I need to know.
Okay. I have a lease from the owner showing that I was also renting from the same house. I just sublet.
Your Honor,
Goodbye.
he did not live
We're
there
done.
at all.
Mr. Doherty, I'm going to start with you, sir. You wanted to rent a motorcycle for your son who was coming to visit.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had rented motorcycles for him to ride previously from the plaintiff.
Yes, ma'am, 3 times.
And how much do you pay for each use?
I think it was about $130
a day.
A day, yes, ma'am.
And this last time that you reserved the motorcycle for your son's visit, how many days did you reserve it for?
For 3 days, ma'am.
For $390.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you personally call her?
I called, yes, ma'am.
And gave her the dates that you wanted to reserve the motorcycle?
Yes, ma'am.
What were the dates that you wanted to
That
reserve?
was Thanksgiving. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The 3 days starting with Thanksgiving of 2015.
So was that the 25th?
I think that's the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
26th?
27th and 28th, I believe.
And on what date did you call her?
I called on September 16th, 2015.
And then you found out that your son, for some reason, wasn't coming.
Right.
When did you call the plaintiff back and tell her that the plan had changed and you wanted to cancel?
That was September 17th, 2015.
And that's all documented. So far, is that all correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many motorcycles do you have?
I own 14 motorcycles.
And I assume that you have documents to show me that all of your 14 motorcycles were rented for the 26th, 27th, and 28th of November.
No, they weren't all rented at that time. That was pretty far ahead of time that he called.
So you ran his credit card for $390. He called you within 24 hours to tell you that his plan has changed. And you told him, according to your papers, that you had a no refund policy, that you would send him vouchers for another time. He said, I want my money back. And to make a long story short, they ultimately sided with him and took the money back from you. That's why you're here.
Ultimately, it went back into my account when he dropped the dispute at the end.
So what are you doing here? Go ahead.
Well, I'm suing for the NSF charges that I incurred for the money going in and out, the taxes that I had to pay, and the inconvenience of it all.
I'm not giving you a quarter. I think that you're a very bad businesswoman.
Ma'am,
I think that
called
you
3
are.
days later.
I think that
he
you
canceled 3 days
listen to
later.
me.
My policy is no refunds.
Miss Nola. Miss
It's in my
Nola.
policy.
I'm talking, you're not.
I understand.
I'm talking, you're not. Let me tell you this. I just went over with him the dates. And
They're not
I said,
correct.
is all, don't speak. I said, is all of that correct?
No.
And you said, you want me to play back the tape? You said correct.
The dates are not correct. The facts are correct. The dates are not correct. He called 3 days after he booked.
Great.
I have no cancellation.
Just a second.
No
I'm
cancellation
speaking.
policy.
Hey, I'm speaking. Listen
No
to me.
cancellation policy.
I don't give a
So why
rat's
do people put these in
Listen
their-
to me. I don't give a rat's behind about what you're going to show me. I'm not giving you another penny. Not another penny. If the money went back into your account.
Because he was wrong. That's why he brought the dispute.
No, let me tell you something. If I was in
Why
business.
did he drop the dispute?
If you're going to talk over me, I'm going to throw you out of
Why
here
did
and
he
not
drop
even
the dispute
explain.
would be my
Hey, just
question.
a second. If you're going to try to talk over me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to throw you out.
Yes, ma'am.
It would be my pleasure anyway. In answer to my question, you did say the dates were correct. Then you changed. Don't speak. Then you changed it later when you saw the direction I was going in. That's number one. Number two, I asked you whether all 14 motorcycles were rented for that period of time, 26th, 27th, 28th. Your response to me, because it's on tape, was, no, they weren't. And he called pretty far in advance. So the second thing is that you suffered no damage as a result of his canceling because the rest of your motorcycles weren't rented. He only rented one. I'm not finished yet.
I understand.
I'm not finished yet.
I understand.
So if I were in business with a customer who had reserved and used my business before 3 times.
That
and
understood
they
the policy.
just
That understood the policy.
Goodbye. Your case is dismissed.
That's
We're
great.
done.